Welcome back to Going Infinite. We're in the finals here. We lost the first game. But we're not going to let that get us down. We can get them back. So right now we're taking a look both through the main deck and the sideboard. One of the things that I like to do is not just look to my sideboard to see if there's anything that would be good to bring in, but to also look to the main deck to see if there's anything that would be good to take out. Sometimes you don't necessarily have a great card in your sideboard, but it could be better than something in your main deck. So make sure that you're looking at both the main deck and the sideboard. Okay, well here's the opening hand. I'm not going to mulligan this. I would like a swamp at some point, and a couple of good draws. You know, this hand doesn't have a whole lot of action, but it's not something I'm going to mulligan. By at least the fourth turn we get that Mulhorn out. So as long as he doesn't have an aggressive start, this isn't a terrible hand. Okay, well it's not something aggressive, but it is another really solid 4-drop. So since we're going first and he didn't have a 1-drop, we should be able to survive long enough to play off 2 of our really good 4-drops. Okay, good. He didn't even have a 2-drop. So that gets us up to 3. We're still not doing anything. We are a million miles away from the Liturgy of Blood. But we can survive until then, hopefully. Let's organize the hand here. Okay. Undead Minotaur. Nothing spectacular. But if we don't get something down, it might just beat us up. If you can get down another 2-3, that's the sort of thing that you worry about. Okay, what's his 4-drop? Of course, if he gets another 2-3, we've got a shock. Okay, Wall of Swords. So that will evenly trade off a 5-3 versus a 3-5. So my guess is that we're going to swing in. He's just going to straight up block that. Doesn't really look like there's anything else we can do here. There's no good reason to active treason. So it looks like we can just hold up mana for his turn. Might be worth outraging the Minotaur if he tries to enchant it with something. Okay, no enchantments for it. He's just going to get in for 2. And I don't mind being hit for 2. Okay, so he's got that Blightcaster out. That one might be worth outraging. Alright, here comes the Shortcutter. Not wild about it. It goes down to the Blightcaster pretty easily if he's got an enchantment, and it gets us off of the outrage on his turn. But maybe it's just something to swing back with. If he's going to try to race us, at least we can be getting a couple of points in as long as he doesn't have an enchantment. What would be really awesome is a Swamp. Even just for 1 to get the Blood Baron with active treason combo. If we can hit Runner Swamp here, we might be able to recover. Okay, so he's got Fire Shrieker. Not the end of the world. Is he going to send both? Yeah, he's going to race us, which is smart. He's winning this race right now. Okay, so we're going to drop down to 14. We can hit him back, or we can chump block if something gets equipped. Okay, so there's another land. It's not the land I was looking for. Well, you know, I'm holding Outrage, and so whatever gets the Fire Shrieker on it can get outraged. So I'm not going to take 4 from one source. So I may as well swing in, because I'm not going to chump block just for the sake of 2 damage right now. Okay, so does the Fire Shrieker go on? I think I'd actually rather him equip the Fire Shrieker right now, just because it looks like he's stuck on 4. Okay, so he does equip, so we're going to go ahead and outrage it. There we go. Oh, you know what? I'm on tilt. That was a play mistake. So what I should have done was let him equip it and then go to combat and kill it before it hit me, because he's now got enough mana to put on the Blightcaster. Okay, so that cost me 2 life. The only way that could have worked in my favor is if normally he would have cast something for 2, but instead he opted to get in the extra 2 damage in the equip. But that was a blunder, so if I lose by 2 life, this one was my own fault. Okay, so there's a Mind Rot, and I'm still short a swamp. I think there are 8 or 9 swamps in this deck. 26 cards left. So 8, 16, 24. So I've got about just a little worse than 1 in 3 odds of drawing a swamp. So it's definitely not guaranteed, but it seems like I'm due for one. Okay, he's got a full mitt full of cards, but so do I, because I'm stuck without that swamp. So once that does come down, I'll have plenty to do. Alright, so he's going to get me for 4 here. I am on a 3-turn clock, including a chump block. Okay, he's got an extra guy. Well, you know what? That's not that big of a deal, because I've got a shock that'll fit nicely on that. So that's good. I get to use some of my cards, and he had to tap out this turn. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to fit that on him before he gets a chance to untap. I wouldn't want him to be able to ignore source of damage. Okay, so that'll get him down to 12, and then I can swing and get him down to 10. So even though I don't have my black source, I'm going to have him down to 10, which puts him on a 5-turn clock. Now that's going to swing around a lot, because he's got 6 cards in hand, and he's got double both of his colors. So unless he has 6 cards that cost 5 or more, he's going to have some action. Okay. So he lets that through, and we'll get a swing in. Again, what we're looking for here is runner swamp. Okay, so if I do get a first swamp, it looks like almost surely the first thing that I want to do is play Blood Baron. It's too early to play Mind Rot. When he's got 6 cards in his hand, you're only hitting the 2 worst. So if I ever do get around to playing Mind Rot, you want to wait, ideally, until he's down to 2 cards. Let's see. Grim Return. Does that do anything right now? I've got 5, so I get up to 6. Okay, so if I can get the Blood Baron out, then the turn after that, I can steal something, sack it, and then get it back. The Newt is not ideally what I would want to steal, but it will hold my, I was going to say my team back, but it's only one guy. So he's going to hold back the Shortcutter. Although if he attacks into me, and all I had was the Shortcutter, I would block, but I'll have the Baron up. So that'll play some defense. Alright, need a swamp. Need a swamp. Okay, so he decides to second main phase the shield and put it on there. Not much I can do about that. That newt is much better. Hey, there we go. There's the swamp. Okay. Now we can play 3 more spells than we could before. So yeah, he's got 5, so it's not really worth mind rotting him yet. Can't swing in with the shortcutter. Not really worth it to steal it right now, so it seems like the only plan left is the Blood Baron. Now a reason I would steal the newt at this point is if he played something down that had 1 toughness. Because if I can clear his board out and swing through for 6, then that would put him on a 1-turn clock after that. So it would be awesome if he played something with 1 toughness here. That is not something with 1 toughness, that's passivism. Okay, so that's not ideal. But as much as I would like to be attacking with Blood Baron, I still have a sacrifice outlet. And I have Grim Return, so I can sacrifice the Blood Baron to itself and play the Grim Return, which will just turn it into another Blood Baron. So that's like a split card right now. It's Grim Return or Blood Baron. And I can do it at instant speed too if I want to, so I can surprise him in combat. Okay, so there. Oh, hey. It's my friend again. Probably thinks that this is over by now. It's been going on for a while. So anyway, I've got another Liturgy. If I can get 1 more swamp, my hand's going to be loaded. I'll basically have 3 kill spells between the 2 Liturgies and the Act of Treason. So if I can just get 1 more swamp, I can really stabilize and take this game over. But right now, the only thing that I could do is Mind Rot into his 4 cards. And as much as I would like to use my mana, I would prefer him to get a little lower on his cards first. And if he plays anything that's really scary, I can Act of Treason it. Okay. So he's got Banisher Priest. He's going to take out the... Yeah. So he now has 2 attacking creatures to my no blocking creatures. But I think that that was his worst possible play because of my Act of Treason. Okay, it would be really cool if he put Fire Shrieker on that. Okay, he's just going to get through for 1. Okay. Let's get ready for some shenanigans here. I've got 4, 5, 6 mana, which means that I have enough for Act of Treason and Grim Return. So I can Act of Treason. Yeah, I can Act of Treason his Banisher Priest, sacrifice it to get back my Shortcutter. I can shortcut the newt, and then I can Grim Return. I'm sorry. Act of Treason to steal the Banisher Priest. Sacrifice it to Blood Baron to get my to get the Goblin back. Then I can Grim Return to get the Priest back and exile his newt. So that'll leave me with a Priest and a newt and a pacified Baron. Okay. So here's the beginning of his board wipe. And if I had a way to get that pacifism off, I could be swinging in for a bunch here. Okay, so I wasn't positive about Grim Return before, but it's really pulling its weight. I think if I draft this deck in the future, I'm going to pick it higher than I did, because I lucked out. I got this as not the very last pick, but the last time I could have possibly seen it, I think. Okay. So I now have 4 points on the board, and took out both of his creatures. If I can draw a swamp, I am next to untouchable. If I can't draw a swamp, okay, so I need the swamp. So that can kill me in one hit. I can block it with the goblin. Hey, there we go. Okay, now we're in business. Okay, so without even thinking, we can go ahead and kill this creature. We will have 3 black mana left over, which I can use to Mind Rot into his 3. So that'll leave him with his best card, which is fine, because I'm not going to waste that mana. And if his best card is a creature, then I have another Liturgy to take care of it. It also leaves me with enough to play the Cauldron. So I can maximize my mana here and be holding a kill spell. Okay, so I can get in for 4, get him down to 6, and after that he'll be on a 2-turn clock. Next turn I've got a kill spell to deal with the creature. So he needs to hit 2 threats to be able to save himself now. Okay, so he's got something. Okay, Siege Mastodon. This time it is not as scary because we just get an outright kill spell. Yeah, so normally that would just absolutely wreck me. But with the Liturgy I'm doing fine. Oh, Altar's Reap too. Okay. Hopefully I won't have to use that, because I do like my Blood Baron as a sacrifice outlet. But he is playing off the top of his deck now. Just consider for a second Altar's Reaping the sack outlet, because I've got the mana in my pool. Yeah. Okay, that's funny. So I sacrificed a Blood Baron so that I could draw and play a Blood Baron. So that was essentially a disenchant there to get rid of the Pacify. Okay, so here we go. Get him down to 2. I have 3 creatures that can hit him for at least 2. So what I'm scared of right now is that he will kill the Banisher Priest. Because if he kills the Banisher Priest, then he's got a blocker. But even that's not enough. Hey, there we go. Okay. Okay, so we got game 2. I'm a pretty big fan of Grim Return. And we didn't change anything last time, so we're not going to change anything this time. Alright, so what do we got? This one's a little different than usual. We've got our All-Star, we've got the Tenacious Dead, and we've got a couple of red spells that we can't necessarily play. But we're doing alright. I'm going to play the Tenacious Dead here. I might get some criticism for that, because it allows him to kill it on his first turn. I don't have the mana to bring it back. So I might have to learn my lesson the hard way on that one. But I really enjoy using my mana efficiently. Okay, so he did not take it down right off the bat. So I can get my Shortcutter down and have 3 points of power on the board. Play that out first, so if he does have something that can take off 1 toughness, then he might send it toward the Sharpshooter. That's why I made that play pre-combat. Okay. Because I would rather have the Tenacious Dead than the Sharpcutter. I always want to say Sharpshooter because I played that deck a long time ago when Goblin Sharpshooter was back in Standard. Everybody else was playing 2 or 3 of them, and I played all 4, just because once you got multiples on the board, they started to go nuts. Okay, so looking at the Altar's Reap here, because one of the nice things about the Tenacious Dead is that you can sacrifice it and then bring it right back with the Altar's Reap. So that's for... Nope, wait. Okay, so you need 4 mana to make that work. because it costs 2 to bring back the dead and 2 to play the Reap. Okay. So here we go. He's got something now. Okay. So he's going to take a look at my hand. Not get anything special. Okay. Alright, this is going to be fun. So we Ring Flesh the Lifebane zombie to kill it, leaving us 3 mana for the All-Star Grim Return. He's playing white, so it gets a white or a green creature, so we're probably going to get a white creature out of his hand. And we get a 3/1 with Intimidate, which doubles our power on board, which doubles our clock. Alright. Fire Shriek. Okay. So the bad news is he doesn't have any white creatures to grab. The good news is he doesn't have any creatures next turn. And the creature that he does have, we can kill. We also have good information that he can make a sacrifice an attacking creature, which reminds us to attack in with the Tenacious Dead and leave up mana to not regenerate, but bring it back. So he's at 13. I've got 6 power on the board, which puts him on a 3-turn clock. Or no, 2-turn clock, because the Outrage is going to hit him for 2. Okay, so he plays out Fire Shrieker, so I can get him for 6 this turn. And then next turn, if he spends all of his mana to play the creature, I can Outrage and swing for the win. Okay. So if he plays that creature, then we win. If he holds back for the Flare, then we still get in for 5. Okay, so he's going to have to get something new off the top of the deck to stop us. Tapping out. Yep, okay, it's a Shade. So we win this, right? End of turn. Chandra's Outrage the Shade. Gets him down to 5. We've got 3, 5, 6. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we got there. Thank you very much for watching. That was a great draft. First time I've ever done that archetype. If you enjoyed this video, I've got a YouTube channel that's got all my videos up there. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and thanks for watching. Have a great one.